HP Sprinter for course project and application lifecycle management. Hey guys, my name is Nikolai Montedola. Today I will be presenting and discussing about HP Sprinter, the presentation and the course project of application lifecycle management. Now, let's go for it. What is HP Sprinter all about? HP Sprinter means it is a way to run its manual tests in the ALM from its own test lab module. Basically, Sprinter has been provided with a variety of tools to support in the manual testing process. In these ways, you can change the display settings which will allow you to see more into your application. Make your parameters edit while in test run. Make sure you have a submission of defects to ALM set a reminder into normal if your test run is interrupted. Make a creation and annotation into your screen capture and capture movies of your own run. What does addition to running basic manual tests mean? When you have added to running basic manual tests, Sprinter's Power Mode also allows you to make macros on your test application recorded and running. In your application, you should enter data into fields in an automatic way. You have to use your own storyboards in each action when your test is in good performance. In user actions on multiple types of machines with different configurations, you should have your own replication. How to launch with HP Sprinter? In two ways. For opening with a test in Sprinter, you can either have a test selection in ALM's test lab module and make your Sprinter launched, or you can make Sprinter on your desktop open and make connection to ALM and with the test from ALM's test lab module opened up. Steps or directions for launching HP Sprinter from desktop. Step 1. You have to press the Sprinter shortcut which opens showing the open a test window. Afterwards, close it. Step 2. You have to look at the Getting Started page when you ran the application for the first time. 3. Press the left click mouse button twice with the HP ALM connection button in the bottom right portion of the main window. Step 4. Press the Open button when you are in the Sprinter's main window. Step 5. You have to enter your own address, username, and password before pressing the Authenticate button. Step 6. You have to enter the domain and project and check the reconnect on Startup check box since you typically work on the same HP ALM server. Step 7. And the last step, press the Login button and Sprinter should be connected to HP ALM and make the open dialog box appear. Welcome dialog box. As a welcome dialog box, they have the options to let you open or make a test or business component. For accessing the welcome dialog box, do one of the following. Start Sprinter. In the main window, you have to select the welcome screen from the drop-down menu next to the help button. Opening a test. There are 3 ways to open a test. The steps or directions are: in the open dialog box, you have to increase or expand the test plan tree until you find the test set that you want to make it execute. You have to select the test set and then check or look out the appropriate boxes to select the tests to run or select the Select All button when all tests are selected. When you click the Open button, the Sprinter window will be appeared. Preparing a run test. In the elements, they are the tests list should display its tests in inclusion to the next run. The status bar show how many tests from the tests will be included. In the right pane, it shows the definitions group containing the 3 nodes. General settings, steps, and parameters. In General Settings node, it has been displayed with the name of the test name, configuration name, the test owner, the test description, the name of the run, the name of the tester, the run status, the date, and time of the run start and stop, and any attachments. In the steps node, it is the way to use for confirming the steps in the test. In the parameters node, it is the way to use for confirming the parameters in the test. In the results group, it contains all the options for every evaluation in the success of its test. Steps on starting a test. In application under test, you should open it. Click run inside the run setup area. In the main sprinter window, it is a way to minimize many sidebars appear along Windows desktop edges. In verifying, you have to see the following the sidebars. The Tools sidebar is on the edge above the Windows desktop. Also, at the edge above, there is the Run Control sidebar. At the edge below, there is the Steps sidebar. Ways on running a basic test. In performance, you should specify the user interaction in the Steps window. Then, it should be the evaluation of its expected results, pass or fail the step, and annotate for the actual results as necessary. There are steps to execute the tests. In the Steps sidebar, it should automatically be opened. If not, press the Steps tab. For the first step, you should follow the instructions. For example, the agent name should be entered. You should make an evaluation whether the application is responding as expected, then pick either pass or fail from the toolbar. Continue proceeding through the steps until you have done it. Ways on stopping the test. There are two ways to stop the run and review test results. You have to increase the run control sidebar and click the end run button to stop test execution. Then the Sprinter main window should be restored. Have your test results reviewed in the run summary area of the Sprinter main window. In three ways to specify its parameters. Select your own test. As an example, it says the second test search by order number. When you are in the definitions group, you have to click on the parameters link. You have to enter the actual value of the parameter. Using subtitles. In using subtitles, using the subtitle feature should be running with the next test. It allows you to make the test running with a minimum of testing interface with your application windows interfered. In showing subtitles, the ways are: in activating the next test in the test set, you have to get the run button clicked. As you have clicked the show subtitles button in the steps sidebar as subtitles mode, it should be a display for its description of each step as a subtitle on your screen instead of the sidebar. As the subtitle is clicked and the subtitle menu bar appeared, you can choose either pass or fail for each step as well as the additional options are selected. As the subtitle settings button is clicked, you can see how the subtitle settings dialog box is opened. You'll use this to get your settings changed for the subtitles for viewing convenience. Each step status should be marked and the pass or fail buttons should be used. You can also use the drop-down menu with the status button. In possible values for status, they call them as passed, failed, blocked, not completed, no run, or not available, or n/a. Recording actual results. There are two ways for recording an actual result. When the actual result is not the same as the expected result, the actual result button should be clicked and also the dialog box should be opened. The text should be entered as you describe the actual result. In adding its image to the actual result, the Save Screen Capture as Actual Result button and the OK button in the actual result dialog box should be clicked to both. Submitting a defect. Entering a smart defect. For the smart defect button, you should click down the drop-down menu. In the smart defect option, it should be selected. It is the inclusion of the list of user actions and a movie of the run that followed the way to the defect. In using Add Defect Reminder, it should make the run in progress. If you find a defect but to now want the run in disruption. As a reminder, it is included with the test results and it can view it at the end of your test. You can then get a submission for the defect later from the test results. And the same information you have available during the test is also available to you from the results. So you can get your annotated screen captures, movies and step or an action information included in the defect at that time. Adding a defect reminder. In the drop down menu for the Smart Defect button, you should press it. Plus, the Add Defect Reminder option should be selected. Type the description of the defect and press the and type with a description of the defect and press the OK button when you are into the defect reminder dialog. Editing steps. There are 5 steps to add with a new test step or to get your existing test step edited. Select your own test step. You have to press the Edit Steps menu drop down from the step sidebar. In adding with a new step, select the 2 options, either Insert Before or Insert After. As the Edit Steps dialog, it is opened. You can enter with your own name, description, and expected results, and click OK for closing the Edit Steps dialog box. In a new step, it is the addition to the list of steps in the Steps sidebar. In editing the existing step, you have to select the option as Edit Steps. It will open as Edit Steps dialog. Get change with your name, description, and expected results, and click OK before closing the Edit Steps dialog box. Annotating a screen capture. In annotations, it highlights the problem in images, that is, the attachment to a step, run, actual result, or defect. There are 4 ways to annotate a screen capture. Inside the dialog box, you should click on the Save Annotation as Actual Result. Then it should be opened with the annotation workspace. Use your own annotation tools for marking up the screen capture. Click on the button as Save to Actual Result. When you have clicked the Close button, the annotated image appears in the Image section of the Actual Result dialog box. View and run results. You can refer this image to read on the left side. Working with Power Mode. In Power Mode, Sprinter has its captures for each user action on the application, and it is stored with the list of these user actions in the form of descriptive sentences. In the test results, the user actions that Sprinter learns can make an inclusion in defects and the storyboard is viewed. When the application is tested, a Sprinter would remember into the Power Mode settings every time. In macros, it is the instant way to run through some of the initial screen to get to the area that makes the requirement with rigorous testing as Sprinter is provided. In filling out forms, Sprinter must be provided with data injection. How to use Power Mode? You can refer to this image above. Using macros. In macros, it allows you to record procedures. It will instantly go through some of its initial screens to get the area that rigorous testing is required. In recording a macro, click on the macro sidebar. Click on the Record Macro button. Hit your steps performed that you want the macro recorded. Click on the macro sidebar once again. Click the Stop Recording button. Make sure that the macro details dialog box is opened. For the macro, get your name and description entered. Last step, click the OK button. Running a macro. There are 5 ways of running a macro. Click on the macro sidebar. In a drop-down list of macros, make sure you select the macro. Click on the Run button. As a green tick mark which is displayed in the Macros tab, it should be the time once the macro has a successful run. On the other hand, as a red cross mark which is displayed in the same place, a macro will have an unsuccessful run. Either the green tick mark or the red cross mark you should click it twice. If you show the status of the macro run, it should display as the macro status dialog box. When you have closed the macro status dialog box, you can click the close button. 2 references for using data injection. You can refer to pages above. Storyboards. As a storyboard feature is displayed in each action when performed in the test, it is included with Sprinter. For each action, look into a screen capture of the action, any reported defects and defect reminders and comments you added to your run. If your test is running with multiple configurations, you can go on viewing its differences in the center of displays of different computers. References on viewing the storyboard. You can refer the ways of viewing the storyboard above. Exporting storyboards. Exporting a storyboard can use it with a Word or PDF file. As a file, it is contained with a run summary, step status, and effect information for the run session. Working with mirroring. In mirroring, it lets you make it running the same test scenario on various configurations. With mirroring, every user action you perform in your own application on your main machine reaches the replication on the defined secondary machines. There are ways to work with mirroring. You should select its mirroring node in the Power Mode group. You should press the Add button to have an addition with a new machine for your application. Provide your own name, description, and machine name or IP address for the machine being used as a secondary machine when inside the General tab. Decide your own option for configuring how Sprinter would make the application launched on the machine, and decide the browser when into the Run Configuration tab. Enter your domain name, user, and password into the Remote Desktop Connection tab if you want your remote desktop connection opened to the machine during the test. Last step, click OK when you are done. Plan mode. In the test plan, it develops so clear and concise, and it is a fundamental to its success for application testing. For the consideration, look at the following when planning application testing. How should you test your application? Which testing techniques will use the stress tests, security tests, performance and load tests? How will you handle defects? Severity classification, authorization to open and close defects? What resources do you require? What resources do you require for testing personal hardware and so forth? When will the various tasks be complete? Steps and important site test and component authoring overview. You can refer onto the image on the left side. For accessing, perform the following steps. Start Sprinter and close the welcome window if open. Select Plan from the main toolbar. In importance, the information available in the Details pane depends on the selected test in the Test and Components list. Select Sprinter, close the main window. Plan area. The steps on accessing the plan area. With the Sprinter, start it and with the welcome window, close it open. In the Sprinter title bar, click Plan. 3 buttons and drop-down options in Plan area. The 3 buttons are New button, Open button, and Save button. The drop-down options in New button are New HPALM Test, New HPALM Business Component. The drop-down options in Open button are Open HPALM Test, Open HPALM Business Component. The drop-down options in Save button are Save and Save As. The points between Steps tab and Find section. In using the Steps tab, the points are Add, Edit, Move, and Delete test or component steps. Import steps from Excel or CSV file. Format steps using rich texting editing capabilities. Add screen captures and attachments to steps. Insert calls to an external ALM test. Insert parameters to steps. In the Find section, it lets you Search the text associated with the steps. The elements in a user interface include UI elements, description, search text. Search for text in the name, description, or expected results fields, or in any user-defined field. Search down/up allows you to pick the search directions. Match whole word. It is instructed as the search engine to find the whole word. Elements of steps tab in step section. Add a new step to the steps grid. Start a steps capture session. Cut/copy/paste steps. Move step up/down. Delete steps. Insert parameter. Add attachment. Screen capture. Call to test. Import steps. Steps tab font section. In a font section, it lets you format text and fields using rich text capabilities such as description and expected results or user-defined memo type. Automating a test. It means allowed unintended execution of the test at an increase of speed. There, the Steps tab, Steps Capture button you can click on. Click the End Steps Capture Session button when you close the sidebar. In the open position, click the thumbtack icon when you locked the sidebar. Click and drag on the sidebar header when you reposition the sidebar. Lists of scanners. The following scanners are Broken Link Scanner, Localization Scanner, Spell Check Scanner, Web Standards Scanner, and Custom Scanner. Scanner Configuration Meeting. You must first activate the power mode and configure an application for your test when you are using scanners. References for scanner configuration. You can refer to these images above. The types are configure scatter settings, scan your application during a run session, and analyze scan results. Scanner sidebar. Perform the following steps when you are accessing the scanner sidebar. You have to enter run mode and make sure a test or component is opened. Activate power mode. Click the scanners node when into the power mode group. Activate a single scanner when in the scanners pane. Click the power mode run button. The elements of user interface are start scan, last scan results, and scanner settings. Scan progress window. If you are accessing the scan progress window while you are on a run session, click the Start Scan button on the Scanner sidebar tab. In the UI elements, they are Scan Status, Potential Defects Found, Scan Status Details, and Details. Scan Results Viewer. It means it activates you to address the results for the submissions of its defects to ALM based on the results, and is the display of the results only for the last scan that you performed. The elements are Submit Defect, Defect Reminder, Add to Target Dictionary, Add to Dictionary Language, Exclude Category, Scan Results, Results Display, Results Description. Scanning Spell Check. As an example, it shows with a spell check failure. For those errors, there are departing from and service classes. Normally, in dictionary, it is the way to run spell check, and you can add dictionaries for it. Scanning localization. As you can see, vacations is not the way to translate to a language set on Sprinter. At last, what does Web Standards Scanner and Broken Link Scanner mean? Broken Link Scanner. The connectivity check timeout is the threshold time in seconds after which a link is considered damaged. Web Standard Scanner. Analysis type. For the type of analysis, it is performing on the web page between dynamic HTML and static HTML. Excluded category rules. It is a list of rules which is the instruction of the Web Standards Scanner to have specific result categories ignored. Delete rule. It is the way to remove selected results category rule from the list. Thank you for presenting. Once again, I'm Nikolai Mandanola. I'm ready for the final exam for Application Lifecycle Management. See you next time.